Peace and greetings, peace and greetings, peace and greetings. Itoy here, and welcome to my podcast. Itoy is an experience where we talk about mental health and what does that look like. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in each week at Thursday at 8 p.m. It is such an honor. I am so grateful and I am so thankful. So today we're going to have a special guest to me. Of course, all my guests are special, but I have a family member here today. I can't be having all these great people on here and don't broadcast my great family, my blood. Because we just greatness around here. He has such a special journey, such a magnificent journey. His journey is about food. So he went through a journey, which is a magnificent. I don't want to give too much away. I'll let him tell it. His name is he goes by now Alkaline Alpha. Alkaline Alpha, because he is the alpha of this alkaline game. You feel me? And he's a conscious brother, and he's a vegan. He got his own business. We gonna chop it up. We gonna get into all of that. But y'all know how I do. I like to start off with a prayer, to bless this podcast, to bless everyone that's watching this podcast, and to ask the Most High to speak through me and speak to the guests, and also to just get things going. Calm my nerves, because like I said, this is a podcast on mental health, and this is why I started it. So today I want to start with some breath work. And with breath work, we can't do anything without the breath. I want to shout out to my godfather, Baba Olu. When I had my nervous breakdown last year, yes, I always bring it up because that is the reason why this podcast is birthed. When I had my nervous breakdown last year, I couldn't breathe. I was praying to the Most High, asking him, can he please, save my life. And when I was in the hospital, I kept having anxiety attacks and my pressure kept going up. And one of the nurses said, if you want to live, breathe. Also, when my godfather officially became my godfather, he specializes in breath work. He has his own company called Breathing with Orisha. Check him out, Breathing with Orisha. And then moving forward, when I went to the Queen of Food program, we did breath work. So it's just like, the Most High is just talking to me. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to get grounded. Please feel free to get grounded with me. We're going to do fire breaths and grounding breaths. We're going to do 100 fire breaths. But we're going to do our grounding breaths first. We're going to close our eyes, sit straight up. And first, we're going to do 4 grounding breaths, and we're going to breathe in through our nose, and we're going to breathe out our mouth. And as we breathe in through our nose, we're going to breathe in all healing, all light, all positivity, everything great, all purity, purification. And we're going to let go all the negative energy, all the darkness, all low vibrations, all low frequencies, all demonic entities as we breathe out. So sit straight up, plant your feet flat on the floor, and just let everything go. Everything. Because if you sitting here watching this podcast, it was meant for you to watch it. Just for you to just take some time to yourself and let it go. Breathe in through your mouth. Let me start through your nose. Hold it. Breathe out through your mouth. Breathe it in through your mouth. Lightness, purity, abundance, prosperity. Hold it. Breathe out all the darkness, whatever you went through the day, let it go, because that's literally the past. Breathe in healing. Hold it. Breathe out all ailments in your body. Last grounding breath, breathe in positivity. Breathe out all negative energy. Shake it out. Yes. Now we're going to do fire breaths when you breathe in and out fast through your mouth, through your nose. You keep your mouth closed. If you don't know, watch me. Ready? Oh, thank you, Most High. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your breath of life. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the healing. Thank you for this podcast. Thank you for giving me a platform to speak through me, whatever you want your children to know, to let them know that it is okay and everything that they have went through is nothing but a journey and a lesson to bring them to their greatness. I ask my Egun and my ancestors to please bless this podcast. Do not let any negative energy in. If there's anything here that doesn't belong here, remove it. Close the doors and don't let anything in. I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks. Thank you. Ashe, 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 ashe. Oh. Whew. Yes. I needed that. I had to do that first. And the reason why, because I had a great week, but I was moving a lot. And I was out in the world. And when we get out there in that world, we're around a whole lot of energies and frequencies, and sometimes things come back with you. So as I was setting up, y'all know how I've been doing with the internet these past few shows, and I had to rebuke that energy. Like, hold on, wait a minute, like we're not gonna do this podcast. I'm gonna need you to get up out of here, okay? So I'm gonna read something before we bring in Alkaline Alfa. I'm into numbers and numerology, and I use the full body armor of protection of God, and He also speaks to us through numbers. So, I had this book, Chaldean Numerology, and in the back, I came across something. It's the 232nd page, and it says, "Your thoughts, actions, and words carry energy too. The energy is in every action we take, in every word we speak, in every thought we think. For every action, word, and thought, there's a reaction and response. Assuming the actions, words, and thoughts are positive ones, the resulting reactions and responses will also be positive. Conversely, the opposite is also true. Negative thoughts, actions, and words will produce negative energies and results. This goes to the law of attraction. So much touted law can be simplified into being true and consistently aware of what you are thinking and saying and doing, knowing that the quality of our combined human thought energies can solidify into corresponding and perhaps worldwide consequences and circumstances. What you pay attention to, you will draw unto you. This means that the more than just thinking about positive or negative thoughts, the contents of your thoughts are important too. Many folks think that they are applying the law of attraction correctly by pleading with the universe. Please, no more bills. Here's the problem. The universe focuses on thinking mentioned in the request or thought. So if it is bills, universe will comply with your mailbox with overflowing of bills. If you focus on not being broke all the time, the world of the universe will pick up all the response to being broke. And you will continue to notice moths flying in and out of your open wallet. The nature of universe is to create. So the structure of the content of the orders you place. Some have likened the universe and the law of attractions to placing orders from the cosmic catalog. It's also important and makes huge differences in your results. In addition, There's also a difference between wanting and needing. So the most effective method of your manifesting is to be motivated by more what you need more than what you want. Needs are necessary things. Wants are desires that often can be based in greed or self-satisfaction, which is the voice of the ego. So the next time you wish that you didn't have so many bills, focus on the need for extra cash instead. This connection extends the physical condition of your body as well. Negative and depressive thoughts materialize in ill energies, as the thoughts that goes to something like this: I don't want to get cancer. The universe hears cancer and will attempt to give you what you ask for. Particularly if you worry or send out supportive thoughts that patterns about this constant basis. For example, for many years, my beloved granny worried excessively about getting cancer and when it relatively at a young age. She died. Cancer had taken over almost her whole organ in her body, almost though as she thoroughly convinced the universe that she needed without even realizing she had done so. I'm sure you have seen illness referred to as dis-ease, not disease, dis-ease. This means there's an imbalance of thought energies that can cause a body to become off balance or ill at ease. If emotional issues are left to ripen and fester within our psyches, chances are good that the toxic and destructive energies will negatively impact our bodies and solidify into all manners or maladies. This is yet another reason to become more aware of what you are thinking and how you are energetically programming your body. Your thoughts, your words, your actions are things of substance. Becoming aware of types of energies you are engaging and promoting will impact your life's indirect correlation, good or bad. Good to good and bad to bad. Recognizing the differences, programming positivity, and keeping the faith can only assist in accelerating your spiritual progress and perhaps even helping to improve the condition of your physical body as well. When I read that, I was like, it was so much corresponding to what I was, taking place at that time because, sometimes when we go through traumas, all we can focus on is the traumas. We can't focus on like, okay, maybe that uh was supposed to take place in our life for that time, for us to teach us a lesson, to show us something that in us that we needed to heal within ourselves. Because once we get to one level, it's always it doesn't stop. You just keep going. And once I started to become conscious of that, I was realizing how a lot of people, my environment, you know, they had negative thoughts. I was also realizing that every time I had negative thoughts, it could have been, me reminiscing on past trauma, pain, birthed in my body. So the more I consciously focused on positive thoughts and positive thinking and just healing and let it go, I would physically feel the energies leave out of my body. Try it sometime. Even if you don't believe it, even if you don't think so, if you having a negative day, a bad, I can't say, I'm not gonna say negative because everybody have challenging days. I don't care how high you are vibrating. You living on this earth, you is going to be challenged. That's regardless. But when you having a challenged day, think positive. Try it. So I want to give a big shout out to Pretty Good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because we said no matter what happened for the rest of the day, we are going to think positive and we're gonna, just be grateful because we had a great day and we was having things come at us. And once we turned that energy, that negative energy into a positive, the rest of the day went good. So thank you. I greatly appreciate you. So without further ado, we got to bring in Alkaline Alpha. Like I said, he has a beautiful journey. His weight loss journey from chubs to alkaline alpha, because he is the alpha of the alkaline community, the alkaline journey. He has a beautiful website, he has a beautiful community. He has a great following. He has a cookbook. He literally turned his life around with food. Yes. I said it with food. So without further ado, let's welcome in Alkaline Alpha.
Man, listen, I don't know if I deserve that introduction, but
You
I
deserve
do
it, cuz
appreciate that. I do
you
appreciate that.
deserve. You gotta remember, we've been down since kids, so
Yeah,
I know the
facts,
journey.
cuz
I know
facts.
the journey,
Yo,
and
listen,
I'm
don't get
so
mad because
proud of you.
I'm a cuz bomb you about 500 times throughout this whole interview. So I hope they, you know what I'm saying, they could tolerate me, you know what I mean? Because I'm be
It's
dropping the cuz bomb.
okay.
You
It's
feel me?
but listen, we blood, so you know
Yeah,
how we do.
yeah,
We just
yes,
bring
sir.
what we do personal
That's a
here,
fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
to enlighten them on our journey. You feel me?
Yeah,
So for the
yeah.
people that don't know, tell everyone who Alkaline Alpha is.
Okay. Well, Alkaline Alpha is pretty much the same person. You know what I mean? It's just I got to know who I was really underneath all of the,
Mm,
underneath all of the pain. You know what I'm saying? The struggles that I was
mm,
experiencing um, throughout my lifetime. Just was focusing on a lot of dark energy. You know what I mean? Things that may have
mm,
happened to me, but didn't actually define who I was. You know what I mean? So Alkaline Alpha came through, a conversation that I was having with a friend of mine,
mm,
and it just evolved. It has so many different meanings, but I'm just gonna get
mm,
into, how it started. It started for me from a friend of mine, basically giving me all of the accolades from the alkaline community and letting me know, like, a lot of my dishes, a lot of people ain't seeing the dishes that I'm putting up. You know what I'm saying? So he like, yo, you the alpha of this whole situation. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wow. So I just went with it. I went just, something clicked in, and Spirit said, one morning was like Alkaline Alpha. It was like euphoric. It was like eureka for me. Like, wow, and I just went with it. Yeah. Yeah, I just went with it.
what I would like to say that hold on one second, because I was trying to do something. I would like to say that you are amazing. Hold on one second.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You too, cuz yo, I'm so proud of you. I'm really trying to contain it right now, but I'm very proud of you for real. I remember when you remember I was couch surfing. You came to see me. I was buying your products almost every week. You was pulling up on me. I was on the couch, me and my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's crazy. Like to see where I'm at now. You ain't even been to the new spot. You came to see me down in New Orleans. I got a way bigger spot now, man. I can't wait till you come and visit ATL, man, so you can see how I'm living now, man.
Yes, definitely. And and I have so much friends, in ATL, and I said, that I'm going to get down there with them. And how can
Yeah.
I get down there and don't see my cousin? You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. Yo, pull up on me. I
Um,
got plenty of room for you.
I definitely will. I definitely will. But
Yeah.
I want to go into your
What's up?
how was your journey? Because people don't, because everybody
Okay.
you slim, fit, together.
Yeah.
People don't know Chubbs. And what I
Okay.
ask, and before I go into, let me explain what I'm about to say, because I understand when you ascend, the old you have to die. You have to
Oh yeah.
actually, put that
Yeah.
person to sleep, because
Okay.
that person got you to where you are now,
Yeah.
but with the Most High is trying to take you, that person is no longer needed. So you have to
Okay.
think differently, move differently,
Yeah.
you change your surroundings, and you did that, and you
Right.
birthed
Right.
Alkaline Alpha.
Yeah.
So I see your journey, and a lot of people didn't understand, but I understood. So you have went from chubby to chubs to conscious. You feel me? You
Yeah.
always was conscious.
Yeah.
Since we
Yeah.
was kids. You kids, you
Yeah.
understand? So
Yeah.
can you tell,
You too,
being
cuz.
that this is a mental, thank you, I appreciate that. You up. But can you tell people How was your mental health, when you had that extra weight on?
Uh, you know, I'm gonna get a little deep with this one, man. You know what I mean?
Please do. Please
Because
do.
yeah, that shit extended from childhood trauma. Like, my name actually was given to me from my loving grandmother, and it was because of my weight. You know what I mean? And because of how greedy I was, you know what I mean, and things of that nature. But the actual orifice, if you will, like the
Mhm.
vibration itself, the name itself grew into something a little bit more dark after a while, because you know basically, like, it started from birth, man. You know what I'm saying? How I was brought here. And shout out to my moms. I love my moms very dearly, you know what I mean? And she's like one of my biggest heroes, you know what I mean? But how I
Mm.
was brought into this, when I was brought into this earth, you know what I'm saying? It was under a bunch of scrutiny, you know what I mean? And not to, like, because this is my story. I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to throw people under the bus, but this is my story. You understand what I'm saying?
I
And
get it. I get it.
right, right. And I actually, I came out of wedlock. You know what I'm saying? My mom's was with my brother father at the time, but she just so happened to get pregnant by another man. You know what I mean? And like, everybody know this, but y'all may not know this watching this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come from Brownsville. It all started in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I came from a notorious projects called Langston Hughes. Um, Anybody from Brownsville already know what Langston Hughes is all about. I come from one of the most roofless buildings in Langston Hughes. It consists of three buildings: 335, 315,
Yes.
301. I come from
And it's
335.
still like it's still
It's still,
ruthless. I don't even like
yeah,
I told my son stay from over there.
sad, man. It's sad, but yeah, and that's crazy because, yo, remember, like, with your baby dad, we gonna get into that though. But that whole situation, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't want to get off subject. So look,
We'll get
I
into that. Go ahead. You can talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
you.
we get into that, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I came home from the hospital, man, and it was like a real shock for everybody because, my brother's pops had, his family have strong genes. So, I come out, they fair, like, not fair skin, but they light skinned folk. You know what I'm saying? And,
Mhm.
not all of them, but, majority of them are light skinned. And, when I came in, it was just like, whoa, what's this? You know what I'm saying? So with me being brought in under that energy, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of like put a dark cloud over me. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody
Mm.
knew who
Mm.
I was, where I came from. They knew I was my mother's son. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
they also knew I wasn't D's son. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm. Mm.
In D's eyes, I was his son. But
Mhm.
everybody didn't necessarily see it like that. So
Mhm.
I was being mistreated over a certain period of time. So what a lot of people don't understand, that's where my anger came from. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? That's where, my low self-esteem came from. You know what I mean? And this is the reason why I kind of like embodied the name Chubby, because that's when all the emotional eating started.
Ah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's what happened. And so just with that, that's where, it all started. So I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel, you know what I'm saying, like embraced. So I turned to the first thing that I loved the most, which was food.
Food.
You understand what I'm saying? And my grandmoms, she would feed me everything that nature or whatever. But it started getting more intense after I lost my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? In
Mm.
2006. Yeah, I lost her 2006, and then I lost my other grandmother in 2010. And these are people who were, you know what I mean, basically the ones that I looked to whenever I had a situation or anything like that, the ones I could trust, the ones that treated me, you know what I mean, with respect, like, like I felt wanted. I wasn't like I said, my mom's is my hero. You understand what I'm saying? And for her to do what she did, let me just say this: for her to do what she did, right? Because she could have just had an abortion. You feel me? For her
Mm.
to do what she did, you know, took a lot of courage.
Mm.
Took a lot of courage, you know what I mean? And for a while, I ain't gonna lie, when I was coming up, once I learned this truth, I resented her for a while. But then when something just clicked and like spirit was like, no, man. You know what I'm saying? Your mom's did the best that she could, but if she would have did that, and if she was who you thought she was, then she would have never had you. You understand what I'm saying? So I had to check myself. You know what I mean? Like, yo, hold on. Like, she stood up against all odds and said, hey, listen, I'm keeping my baby.
I know
You
that's
understand?
right. Hello, shout
And
out to Auntie.
yeah, you know what I'm
Hello.
saying? So, I love her to death, and that's my lady right there. And yeah, it came from that. And also, like, the way that I came up, I came up in an abusive home, you know what I'm saying, where my mom was being abused, I was being abused, my brother was being abused, you know what I'm saying? But even my stepfather, the one that was doing the abusing or whatever, I had to understand where he came from. Let me tell you something. This right here, this show called Mental Health. But let me just if you show me one black person in this country, in the state that we had to live in, you know what I'm saying, for over 400 years, you show me
That
one
ain't
person that doesn't have
yes.
some kind of mental defect.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
And
Like we
that is
will,
the reason why I created this show,
yeah,
because we walk where we come from, we have to have this facade like everything is
yeah,
okay, so
yeah,
that we won't be eaten because we around
yeah.
sharks. You feel me?
Yo,
But on the
listen.
inside we crying.
Listen, this shit was eating me up inside, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I was taught that what happens in a home stays in a home, and that was me suppressing everything. You understand what I'm saying? So that means that I had to live with all of that stuff, and it was tearing me up inside. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is where the anger came from, and this is where I got my reputation. But a lot of people didn't understand, man. Underneath all of that, tough guy and all this other stuff, man. Look, listen, I really needed a hug. You know what I'm saying? I needed some love. You know what I'm saying? I needed somebody to say, hey, man, are you okay? You know,
Yes.
not for somebody to call me and say, hey, yo, Chubb, they wilding over here, because I'll be the first one most people call, and then I get over there showing my ass. But guess what? I'm the only one going to jail now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
And
it
then that
just it,
adds more to the mental health because of the institution.
you understand what I mean? But thank God I never actually had to do any prison time. You know what I mean? Like I was in and out of the holding cells, jails, and central bookings, and Yaphank and Riverhead, and all of these different places, man. But you said something about my old self having to die, but you want to know something, man? Um, he's not dead. You know what I mean? He's not
You
dead.
gotta keep them in your pocket for when you need them.
Right. You
I
understand?
get it.
Because
I get it.
listen, I'm my
I
high
get it.
self, but when it's time to get low, I gotta get low. You understand what I'm saying? I gotta get low. It serves its purpose, and that's what I had to understand. I had to actually accept me. I had to accept myself for who I was and identify with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's what helped me, along the way. So yeah, that's pretty much where it all came from, where it all started, coming up in an abusive home. But like I said, my stepdad, I love him to death as well, because I had to understand where he came from, because he was pretty much the one that restored my confidence. Always told me that I was going to be great one day, but he had a drinking problem. You know what I mean? And he was drinking to suppress certain memories and certain things that happened to him in his childhood. And his dad, his dad his dad was beating him in the head with hammers, and beating on his
Okay.
mama and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no excuse for him, but it just it's like the
Okay.
dynamics of your home shape and mold who you're going to be. You know what I'm saying? Until you actually make that decision within yourself, or have that epiphany and understanding, like, this is wrong. Because a lot of people repeat the same things over and over, but they don't correct them, because they don't see it as a see it as a problem. But at the end of the day, if we don't acknowledge it as a problem, it's going to continue to persist. So that's the problem, you know what I mean, in our communities right now, if we don't take a deeper look. Yeah, yeah, because we normalizing the abuse. That's all I'm saying. Like we normalizing abuse and thinking it's okay and saying it's okay. Shit like what happens in a home stays in a home. That shit tears a child up. And then you get a
Now
child with behavioral issues.
that goes back to what I always talking about with the womb trauma.
Mm,
I'm not sure if you remember when I was talking about that. Our parents, we came up in a household. See, we the new generation. You know, our when our parents came up, they came up under a certain amount of laws, and also they grew up with trauma as well, and it worked for
boom,
them at that period of time.
boom.
You feel me? So being that it
Yeah,
worked for them, they figured it was going to work for us. But then we are our own
it's that
energy.
cycle. That's that cycle.
You feel me?
That
And
cycle.
we are the
Mm,
evolved ones. You feel me? So we're just like I get it. I was told, to keep everything in the household, and I want to touch base on what you said because it
okay.
resonates with me. Because you said, you came home and everybody knew what it was. Everybody knew it was your mother's child.
Hmm.
So we come from the same family, and not sure if you knew, but my mother, like I am the product of someone cheating,
Hmm.
meaning that my grandfather cheated on his wife with my grandmother. He went
Hmm.
outside his relationship and, fell in love with his side chick and had a
Hmm.
baby with her. So, and then
Wow.
when my mother came, you feel me? When my mother came, she got treated a little bit different, but my mother's also a little bonkers too. We just gonna say that. That ain't help. She ain't help at all. So then
Facts,
here
yo.
I come. You know the story.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
So
I do.
so now here I come around. I really didn't know them like that, like the first 7 years of my life. But when I got 12, remember that's when I started coming around everyone. So
Yeah.
now I'm starting to come around to this new family. Everybody's so new to me. I got 100 billion and one cousins over here, and you can still see the difference because it's
Deep
like
out.
everybody accept me, but everybody knows that I'm the product of the grandchild who went out
Hmm.
and cheated on his wife. You
Right,
understand? So
right.
so it's just like it just was. I like it's all love. It's all love. Like I would hear,
It
"Oh,
is,
who's
man.
that?" I would hear, "Who's that?" "Oh, that's my niece." "Your niece?" "Oh, who? That's so and so." "Oh no, that's my stepsister." "That's your stepsister. That's your sister.
Wow.
Y'all got the same blood running through your bones,
Exactly.
through your body."
Exactly.
You feel
Yeah.
me? So this play a lot
Yeah.
in my mental health is
Yeah.
too, not
Yeah.
feeling belong. You
Hmm.
feel me? Not feeling
Hmm.
like I don't have no family. My mother don't want me over here. These people calling me step. I'm not step. You didn't get married in. Yeah, it just maybe I came in a little different, but
Yeah.
I got the
Yeah.
same blood as y'all. So I
Right.
was always labeled
Right.
like you know how we used to do when we was kids. I wasn't rowdy, but we had little things going on with us. So I was labeled as the troublemaker back then. But I was crying. You remember?
Exactly. Yeah, I remember.
but,
I
but
remember.
I was crying out for help.
Hmm.
But every no, and just like you said, you needed a hug. I was going through so much at that time where I
Yeah.
just didn't only I needed some attention. Only how I knew I did was by doing certain things. I realized that now as a grown woman in my 40s, but I didn't know that as a
Right.
child, going through group homes and maternity shelters, and my mother
Right.
kicking me out, and and doing all these kind of things. So I totally understand when I resonate with you when you say
Yeah. Yeah, we
people
relate on
accept
so
you for
many
who you
different
are, but
levels,
it just
cuz.
was just a little bit different, you know.
Yeah, because
Um,
we the ones with all the
yeah,
kids.
yeah,
We
and
the ones
it's
with all the
funny,
kids, right? They coming over here with
all
all
the
the kids.
kids, right?
Yeah,
I got
man.
5. How many you got?
Shit, I got
How
five
many you
too.
have?
I got five.
Wow, but you know why? You know why I have so many kids?
Why's that?
Love. I was trying to. exemplify the love that I wasn't getting. You feel me?
Boom, boom, boom. But see, look, my
I
thing
needed,
was I'm trying to break generational curses. So if I gotta do that, I'm gonna do that on my own and lead by example. But yeah, man, ain't no love like the love you receive from a child. That love is unwavering. You understand? That love is
yes,
unwavering. Give thanks, give thanks.
yes, yes. That is
But yeah,
Empress Nuba. That she. You heard of Queen of Four?
yes,
You know I'm a sacred woman, right?
yeah.
I went through the Queen of. I'm a part of the Queen of Fool camp. Empress Nuva is my mentor. She guided me through the whole 16 18 weeks,
I
and still
say,
is my mentor. So
I
I would
say,
like to say thank you to Empress Nuba, and she's
yes,
gonna be on
yes.
too. In a couple of
Thank
weeks.
you,
She has a
Empress.
beautiful journey.
Oh, I'm
You
gonna
know,
tune in for that one. I'm gonna tune in for that.
yeah,
Absolutely, man.
she has a journey. Yeah,
Yeah.
so thank you, Samantha. Give
Peace and
thanks and
blessings,
blessings, peace
Samantha.
and blessings, peace and blessings. So
Yeah.
Healthy Living said, "Thank you, Healthy Living, for tuning in." He says, "What are you eating?"
Yo, this is a honey mango. This is a honey mango, man. I got a whole box of these joints, man. I eat a box of these a day. I'm in
So
here
what is your
living with
diet?
flip flops.
So you know what? We're gonna go for a break. That you know what? It's 37 minutes already. It feel like we just started talking.
No,
We didn't
see,
even
we
get
we
deep,
ain't even
deep.
get into nothing yet. For real.
So you know what I want to do? I want to go to commercial break right quick.
Okay.
All right, and we'll be
All
back
right.
um in a few minutes. Well, in 1 minute, exactly 60 seconds. And
Got
yeah, so we here, with like I said, Alkaline Alpha, telling his story on his weight loss journey. And I'm gonna see if I can get this picture up to show y'all his before, because y'all not gonna believe it of how his journey is now. And make sure y'all go check him out. He is at www. Eat like you give a fuck.com. That's
you.
EUGAF.
Let's go.
www.eatlikeyougivaafuck.com. All right. All right. So we'll be back after this short break.
And we're back.
We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back with Alkaline Alpha. And he's
Yeah.
gonna tell us. He's in here telling us all about his journey. I told y'all before, my cousin shoots straight from the hip. He's doing great, great things. He's always been conscious. He is not like he just got on this conscious journey. I want to tell you a little secret. He don't want to expose that, but he's also a singer. But he don't want to. And when I say he's a singer, he don't do yeah, yeah, yeah around the house. He blow. You blow, cuz. You blow.
Yeah, I do. I
So
do.
yes, he does. So, what was your breaking point? Tell us that story. What was your
Man.
breaking point when you said, you know what? That's it.
All right, I got a story. I got a couple things. So when I my breaking point was one day I was in the park with my children, and we playing and everything of that nature, and I had to stop every 5 minutes, because I'm chasing them around the park, and I had to stop every 5 minutes, man. And my chest was just heavy. I couldn't breathe. I'm sweating bullets, and I'm like, yo, man, I can't take this no more, man. I got to get rid of this weight. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that was it for me. You know what I mean? Having to, you know, having not being able to have the physical endurance to chase, because I got three daughters, you know what I'm saying, and I have three daughters and two sons. My son was just born in last December, you know what I'm saying. So I mean December 2020. So you know, that's just basically, what really started me going. And but I was still fucking around, man. I was still drinking and shit. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know this, but 98% of the liquor sold in stores is vegan. You know what I'm saying? So I took that as a permissibility to get fucked up. I was getting fucked up, like,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that 90% is
yeah,
liquor. I didn't know that. You just dropped the
yeah,
bomb on me.
yeah. All that hard liquor, like the vodka, the cognac, brandy. I mean, cognac is brandy, but all of the hard liquors, man. All the hard liquors is vegan. That shit come from ethanol. Ethanol is sugar. You know what I'm saying? Sugar is essentially vegan, but what happens is, when they use the bone char since 1921, they've been using bone char to whiten the sugar. So this is what technically don't make it vegan no more. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's all that is. All alcohol is fermented sugar. You know what I'm saying? Basically. So yeah, that's what it was for me. But then, like, my grandfather passed away 2016, and he was big. Like he was like almost 25 years clean in alcohol. He wasn't drinking, wasn't doing none of that shit. So I went to his death anniversary, and I showed up drunk, man. And I heard him in the back of my mind, and he's like, "Yo, come on, man, what the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, you know what? That's it. I threw, and I was a Henny guard. I had a bottle of Henny on me. I had like a 40, and I had another 40 at the crib. So I'm like, yo, listen, I went to throw the 40 over the fence. My cousin like, nah, chill, let me get that. You know what I'm saying? So I gave it to my cousin. Shout out Shabu. I don't know if you're watching or whatever. So I gave it to my cousin, and she was like, yeah, don't throw that away. I'm like, nah, I gotta stop drinking, cuz. And she was like, nah, I feel you. You know what I mean? Like, you on a different path. So, I think, what you're doing, I'm gonna support you or whatever. So yeah. So that was like around 2016. I started my vegan journey, but didn't 100% commit. So until 2017. Yeah.
Okay. I want to say it's a beautiful journey. For some, me and you always supported out each other's journey, and
Look at that guy.
that's Chubbs, and on the right
Yeah.
you see Alkaline Alpha, and that's why I said, I definitely wanted to show your transformation,
Oh man, I was
because you
307 pounds in that picture.
wow.
300. That was my heaviest. That was at my mother's 50th. That picture
Wow.
right there, and I'm holding a bottle of Henny.
And now
fact.
look at you. Now look
Yeah,
at you. Wait, let me
that was
let me move the old
2012, man.
let me move this banner at the bottom so you from head to toe. You know, this is such a beauty. Like your clothes even changed. You don't even dress the same anymore. I wish you would have sent me some more pictures of you. You dress totally different. You dress the way your mind is, the frequency that
Yeah,
you're on right now.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you're
That's a
more
fact.
humble.
Yeah,
And
yeah. More
it's
laid back.
really a beautiful journey. Yes, it's
Yeah,
really a
man.
beautiful journey, and
That
you just
rowdy
had a
shit wasn't
baby. I
working.
know you have. Right. You know why? Because God has, the Most High, and your ancestors. They have more for you, so much more. You always stood out. That's why your mother had to bring you here.
That's a
It was
fact.
bigger than what everybody else said or what everybody else thought. Because I'm going to get a little deep. I have to. We are spirits having a human experience. And when you
Mhm,
decide to come here, you chose your mother to bring you
mhm,
through this, bring you through this realm. You feel me?
mhm.
You chose that experience because that experience was going to get you to eat like you give a fuck. Was going to get you to Alkaline Alpha. If you would have came
Fact.
through someone else, if you would have came through someone else, you wouldn't be who you are today. You can be able to tell your story. Like you the type of person you could converse at boardrooms because your intellect, everybody don't know that, but people that knows that know. We had to study the dictionary when we was kids. You, you feel me? We had to write papers.
Yeah, that's a
They used to give us
fact.
little packets when before it wasn't even Black History Month, and they used to give us little packets that we had to study, and we had like little game shows on that. You remember that? I remember it was me, Hayes on the it was all it used to be all be on 21,
Yeah.
and so now it's like all
Shout
that
out to
like you
Born
have
Justice.
embodied. Yes, shout out to Uncle Born. You have embodied all of that, and you are just getting started. You're
Yeah,
just getting started because you can be able to relate to the people in the hood. You can
yeah,
be able to relate to politicians. You can be able to relate to millionaires, whoever. You understand
yeah,
because of your story. And it's very very humbling and it's very very inspiring
yeah,
because it's for someone to completely change how they eat. You know, that's the medicine.
yo,
The food is the medicine.
that's a
The food is
fact.
everything. If we don't
That's a
have the
fact.
proper food, we cannot live. And to change how you eat and like really go in and the way you was doing the research on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You feel me? To see what every
Mm-hmm.
little single thing had in the food and how it was going to help you. That
Yeah.
takes determination, diligence,
Facts.
accountability on your own part. And you did all, and in order to do that, you had to look yourself in the face and
Yeah.
accept yourself for where you was at on your on your journey. So
I had
that's
to
why I
pick
said
myself apart.
you had to pick yourself up, and not everybody wants to do that work.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Not
Nah,
everybody
man.
want to do that because that's tough.
Yo, that shit exposes a lot of insecurities. You know what I mean? Exposes a lot of insecurities about yourself. And it just shows you, like, we, in our communities, we talk so much about people who are addicted to alcohol. We talk so much about people who are addicted to the dope, you know what I mean? Talk about dope fiends and crackheads and things of that nature. But you know, a lot of meat eaters share the same addiction that crackheads have to crack. You know what I'm saying? So
Samantha says I actually had a book with the same name. That's crazy. Is it your book? What's
it's
the name of your
probably my
book,
book. I
cuz?
got 4 books. I got four
What's
books.
the
I
name of
got
your
one.
book?
Yeah. So one is the Alkaline Manual. That's my first book ever. Alkaline Manual. My second book was the 10-15 minute meals. That just released last year, and I also had another one that released a few months after that called Grill and Grilling, which shows how to make your barbecue foods inside the home. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and oh shit, Scoob, what's up? I didn't know that was you. So yeah, it shows you how to grill your foods inside the home with a cast iron skillet that has the grill, on it. And all right, all right. Thug Kitchen. Okay, got you. Um, it's so crazy. Somebody had told me after I came up with my website. Somebody had told me that about Thug Kitchen and the eat like you give a fuck shit. But shout out to Thug Kitchen. I ain't try to steal y'all shit. I ain't know who y'all was. But but yeah. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know who I'm familiar with it. I found out last year. So yeah, yeah, that's I have those cookbooks, and I'm also working on my fourth one, which is it's called Crook Cooks with Soul. It's a tongue twister. So that's my chef name. My chef name is From Crook to Crook Cook. So and then I just found out, somebody told me that Snoop Dogg got a book called From Crook to Cook. So it's like, I
Oh
don't know.
God.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's just like, yo, how all this shit is coming out. But I take that as, all of us being on the same frequency. You know what I'm saying?
I was
Like,
getting ready to say that means you're doing the right thing.
you feel me? Because I went through life so many times, right? And I had this idea, and then next thing you know, I'll hear Jay-Z with the song, and I'll be like, yo, that's crazy. But it's like, we all are one part of one source, So it's like, if you don't take that and act on it, it's gonna go somewhere else. You feel what I'm saying? So
You
you
better
feel what I'm
tell it.
saying? Boom. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, I'm just a shell. Like, it don't matter. And a lot of times, like, even my wife would say, she'd be like, yo, stop saying, what you gonna do before you do it. Cause people go, I don't care. Let them take it. If they're gonna take it, then that's fine. But they ain't gonna be able to do it like how I do it. You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
I heard somebody say we don't eat chicken no more, but I heard somebody say, I don't know who said it, but they was like, you could give a person the same recipe to fried chicken,
Mm-hmm.
but it ain't gonna taste the same.
No, it's
You
not.
feel me?
It's not.
So like, for instance, like my mentor is my good friend is King Simon. Shout out to King Simon.
And Simon.
He is a beast when it comes to this. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm still, this is only my fifth podcast. I'm still
Okay.
learning. I still have technical difficulties, but I would never be able to have a podcast like his, because we have the same recipe, but we got different flavoring. Our
Right.
hand is different. You feel
Right.
me? So I
Facts.
totally get
Facts.
it. I
You
totally
know.
get it.
So yeah, man. So yeah, that's just basically what it is. But as far as you know, this journey is concerned, yeah, man. I was inspired by my daughters. You know what I mean? I have a 13-year-old daughter. She's my oldest, and she's um she's actually a vegetarian, and she kind of like
Okay.
inspired me too. Yeah, she kind of inspired me too, because one time she had came by and she was like, "Hey, Dad," she said, "Hey, listen, so I'm vegetarian now." So I said, so that means that you can't have no meat, you can't have this. She said, "Yeah, I know." So I tried to test her one time, and she wasn't with it. Like, she was like really adamant about being vegetarian, and at the time I was vegan. So, and I was alkaline vegan. I was like, that was the most intense. Like, that's like level 10 all the way up the top. You know what I'm saying? And
That's what I'm saying. Your determination is just amazing.
I was sitting I was in Canarsie. Remember, you used to come and see me bring the products and shit. I was at my aunt crib. At that time I was couch serving, and my daughters, I had a visit with my daughters. I'm sitting by the window smoking a cigarette. This is when I was smoking cigarettes, right? Now, my daughter said to me, she was like, "Hey, Dad," she said, "You vegan, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Why you vegan?" I said, "Well, I want to live a longer, healthier life. And she was like, "Yeah, well, you know what? I just feel like it's a contradiction." This is my daughter. Like, she said, "I feel like it's a contradiction because you're smoking a cigarette." And at the time, my
Mm.
daughter was like 9 years old. Like
She is.
eight, nine
She is
years old.
your child. She is your
Yeah.
child.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I sat there and I said, you know what? From this point on, I had a full pack of cigarettes. I crushed them shits and threw them out the window. And that was the last
Mm.
time I smoked a cigarette. That was 5 years ago.
Isn't it
That was
amazing
five
how
years
our
ago.
children? Isn't it amazing how our children could just motivate us and just change our
Yeah.
life? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because they
So,
will. Our reflection shows in them, and
absolutely.
that's beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's like, she's one of the star children that really follow everything that I say and things that I do, you know what I mean? And she could just recite it back word for word. I'm really proud of her. All my children are like that, but she's just a little bit more into this lifestyle than they are. All of my children, I have 5 children, only one, which is the child that I delivered actually. And he's 100% vegan, 100%.
That's your baby.
Yeah, from the womb,
Yes,
straight
yes.
up, even through
And
conception, vegan all the way.
and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How you just totally just changed your life around. You moved out the hood.
Yeah,
You moved to New Orleans. Now you went and bought you and your family a big house in
yeah,
Atlanta.
yeah.
Like you just literally just
Oh, I'm
took
going up
put
from
your
here,
life.
cuz
Yes, you took your life into your own hands and said, "This is my life."
facts,
And
facts.
nobody can tell me what to do with my life. And what I want to ask you is, because when you're going through a transition, um, how was your mental as you was going through the transition, and everybody seeing your change and your change in yourself, and the vision, but not everybody knows the vision, and you
Mm,
back and forth with the old you, new
yeah,
you, in
yeah.
between space. Like, tell the people, how did you feel, and then after that, tell them, how did you get out of that?
Man, I was resentful, man, because I felt like, from what I came from, it was a lot of alcohol abuse, a lot of drug abuse, and I was fighting almost every damn day, every week. I was getting locked up. Almost, I got locked up one time, like 3 times in one week. Like, it was crazy. I had a real crazy life. Like, I even, like, in 2016, I tried to commit suicide. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I
that's
was
not
just,
that long ago.
no, it wasn't. And no, it wasn't 2016. It was 2014. 2014.
Wow.
2014. Yeah. And yeah, man, I just, I took a fistful of pills and just said, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But that, like I said, that came from me actually dwelling in my lower self, and what I'm saying, that dark energy, things that, happened to me. I'm still dealing with PTSD, you know what I'm saying, from the things that I experienced in the streets, and even things that I experienced in my home, coming up as a child. Um, so yeah, that transitional phase was very important for me, and I just was looking for the support from, my family and friends. But I had people coming from me like, oh, how you vegan and you still fat, and why you eating like this, and always, like, just basically chastising me and having something smart to say. I bring my own food to family functions, and I would never say anything about what they were actually eating, but they would come to me and point on my plate and say, "Oh, what are you eating? And what's this and that and the third?" You know what I'm saying? And it kind of like, it's lonely, man, because majority of your people are eating all the same way. You know what I'm saying? They're eating, things that they were conditioned to eat, don't even realize that, you know what I mean, that you're actually addicted to these foods, and all of the flavor additives and things of that nature to these processed foods is what's keeping you, you know what I'm saying, hooked on them. You know what I mean? The production of these hormones, and neurotransmitters or whatever, that are being manipulated through, what I mean, the foods that you're eating, and they don't really understand that. But I would keep that to myself. But it was tough, man. It was tough. But then,
No, enlighten the audience. Like
yeah,
how did you heal yourself with your
yeah,
food? How did you have mental health with
yeah,
your food?
yeah,
And people don't know that. And being that you've done
yeah.
so much research,
Mm-hmm.
don't keep it to yourself.
I got you. I
Keep
got you. I got you. So yeah, these things, I had to see it from a different perspective, because those people weren't ready, and I was them, and that's what really had, this is what I had to come to terms with, because the more I started getting deeper into this lifestyle, the more I started seeing that, people are just dealing with seeing things, we could be wearing the same glasses but seeing things through different lenses. And
Mm-hmm.
so for that matter, they was old chubby while I was the new chubby, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so that's why I was stuck in their eyes. I was stuck to who I was before, opposed to who the person is standing in front of them. They couldn't identify with that, because guess what? It will open up a can of worms, and then they will have to see themselves and the insecurities that they have, and they don't want to deal with that. So they were projecting it. They were projecting it on me. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yes.
it just it was tough. It was tough for me. You know what I mean, at first, but then I started to empathize. It
Mm,
was weird. You know what I'm saying? It was weird because then I was so
mm,
angry, but then a calm came over me. And it was like, hey,
mm.
this is a reflection of yourself. This is who, like, the universe was just like, yo, this was you. So that's why I started to have a little more softer approach, because I don't know if you remember, I was coming at everybody. I was on it, like, coming at everybody when I first started this shit. And then, I was talking to one of the OGs, man, and this is one dude that could tell you about my story for real, for real. Ebo, Ebo,
Of
my
course.
boy Ebo.
Of
So
course.
yeah, and yo, let me tell you, man, that this
He's
shit,
a good dude.
yo, man, when I tell you, like, when I think about it, man, it kind of make me want to shed a tear, because he was there. Like, every time I
Mm,
had a situation, anytime there was a situation, like, as far as me knuckling down, or I'm going through a situation with my baby moms, or whatever the case may be, this man was always there. This man was
mm,
always there. And, like, I guarantee you, kid you not, I look up and there you go. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? So it's just like, I feel like that was the ancestors working through him for me.
Yes.
You
He
understand
was
what
your
I'm
angel.
saying? Because
Yeah.
there's no coincidences. Like, this man was there. Every time I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, are you following me, man? Like, what the fuck is going on? But that's what it was. It was just like, he was there, and he saved me in most situations, man. He saved me from myself. It
Mm,
was a time where he saved me, because I was getting ready. Like, I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for him.
mm,
Because I'll be in jail. I'll be in jail for the rest of my life if it wasn't for him.
mm.
So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day,
Shout out to Evo.
yeah, yeah. Shout out to Evo, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he just like, yo, he's like, yo, Chubb, at the end of the day, your children need you,
Mm,
and he kind of like brought me back, because I was like, I was going off them pills and everything, and I was ready to go. I was ready to
mm,
go. And he was like, yo, chill. He was
mm,
like, yo, chill. He's like, yo, I love you. I know what you get ready to do. He was like, think about it. Don't do it.
mm,
And
mhm,
from that point on, it was just like, all right, But yeah, back to that transitional phase, man. I had to see, I saw myself in others, and that's what made me like, kind of double back and not be so angry, you know what I'm saying? And kind of like resonate with those
mm.
people, on a different level, so yeah, that's where it came
Mm.
from.
That's
Um
that's
yeah.
beautiful. That's really beautiful, and I totally resonate with that because when I started to get deep into my spiritual work, I felt as though as I didn't fit in because I used to smoke a lot. You drink.
Yeah.
I remember I was so drunk some years back. You had to help me.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yes,
So
sir.
I get it. So it's like now that I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party like
Right,
that.
right,
I changed my environment. I'm just spiritual about my prayers and I love a good time. I love, I'll go to a barbecue. I'll go to an event as long as the energy is right. You feel me? If the
right,
energy ain't right, I ain't going. And
right.
so our cousin Hayes, God bless him, he was there in the beginning of my journey, and he said, Etoy, well, this was always you. And he said, you always got to remember, just because you're evolving, don't expect for people to evolve around you.
Mm.
And I was like, yes,
Shout
you
out
know,
to Hayes, man.
shout out to Hayes, our other conscious cousin,
Facts.
I just was like, you're right. So it took a lot of pressure off of me. And then, I also had to go into an acceptance stage also. That's why I was actually
Mm-hmm.
about your transition, because within my transition, I felt weird and I felt awkward. And people was responding to me as the old Etoy. The snap,
Mm-hmm.
they was always wait, because I'll always have a snapback or a comeback, or you're not going to get one up on me. Not it was one of those. It was not humble at
Oh
all.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It
Oh
was
yeah.
not humble, that
Oh yeah.
and now when I look back, it's just like, that's just not how a lady, a woman, a goddess, an empress,
Mm-hmm.
carries herself. A queen carries
Mm-hmm.
herself, and they still was responding to the old Etoy. And I had to tell a cousin, I need you to see the new Etoy, see me. I shedded her.
Yeah.
Now, just because, yeah, yes, I have changed. Yes, I'm still going to speak my mind, but I'm going to choose when to speak my mind, because I also know that there are energies out there that was just waiting for you, just to suck you dry, depending on
Facts.
what you say. But it doesn't mean that it's a confrontation. We are two grown people, and we could definitely
Yeah.
have a dialogue without you responding to the old Etoy, because I'm not going to go back and forth with you, because I'm not going to get into that energy. So I totally understand about people not accepting your transition, and responding to the old, responding to Chubby, and not
Facts.
Conscious, or Alpha, and
Mm-hmm.
then you feel alienated, and you go through more,
Yo.
have more anxiety, like I'm alone, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
no one to talk to,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you got to be real strong, because it make you want to revert back. But it's like, you came so far. You
Yeah.
came so far. Like, I can't go back. I have to keep going to see what's on the other side.
You want to know something? It's crazy because as a child, um, I I was alone most times. You know what I'm saying? And you know, coming up, because I moved when I was like 4 years old. I moved from Brownsville to Flushing, Queens, and then when I was turning 5, I moved to Bayshore in Long Island. And most times, like I was like pretty much alone, other than having my cousins come out, or me going out to Brooklyn to Brownsville almost every weekend or whatever. But yeah, I was built off of that. Like that's who I was. Like, I always played alone. You know what I mean? I was the fat kid, so people had jokes or whatever. But what really made me stand out from everybody is the fact that I was talented. I could sing, I could rap.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I could dance. I could do all of those things or whatever. But I stayed to myself. Most of the time. So it really didn't. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because it really didn't bother me as much as like being alone. Um, well, let me scratch that. It did bother me, honestly. But I learned to, you know, no, I normalized it. I took it as like it was okay. I found a defense mechanism in being alone. Like I sheltered myself from everything and everybody because I was afraid of being hurt. I was afraid of being alone. I was afraid of being misunderstood.
Mm.
And
Mm.
that's why I felt that maybe it was best for me to be alone. So a lot of people don't really realize it. Like they think, see, a lot of people like, yo, you think you better than me because you eat, because you're a vegan. I'm like, no, I think I'm better than you, but I don't think that way. But if you seen it from my perspective, you would see that it's more of you than it is of me. So why would I even feel like I'm better? Like do you have any idea how lonely it is to be the person that I
Yeah.
am? Like if I go to a barbecue, I can't eat a plate of food with y'all. And then that's what really brings everybody together. This is the reason why when you go out and you
Yeah.
have a family function, people is cooking what? Food. And when you get there,
Right.
they got all this food there. Everybody just, sitting down, chilling, having a good. Who am I going to eat with? You know what I'm saying? Like, who eats what I eat? And then that puts me on the spotlight because I'm not eating. So why you not eating, Chubby? Right? And it just be like, well, I don't choose to eat that, but then it just comes to the conversation. And I don't mind having a conversation, but it just seemed like, they're picking away at you and things of that nature. And it's tough. It's really tough. So, this shit ain't for the weak. You know what I
It's
mean?
not.
It's not for the weak.
It's
You know what
not.
I mean? Very, very, very challenging. You know what I'm saying? On
Yeah.
all fronts. So yeah.
I would like to ask you, because now I want to get into the part, yeah, because we're a little over an hour, and I don't like to bore the
Okay.
people. I would like to say this. I schedule. Well, I'm doing my own podcast, and I always said it was going to be an hour, but every guest that I had on, it went over an hour.
Yeah.
It's just so good information, and people could just resonate on so much when it comes to mental health, because people need to see what mental health really looks like. You
Yeah.
you, you understand? Like, did your following know that you had these part, like you was going through this?
I shared, it's so crazy. Like,
Like,
I
I'm
don't
talking about
suppress.
deep. I'm talking about deep.
I've put out a few posts like that, but not consistently. So a lot of, like, because I get new followers, every week. You know what I mean? So a lot of them don't know. A lot of them don't know.
Hmm.
A lot of them don't know.
So what?
But
Go ahead. Before I ask
no,
you my
you got
question, go ahead. What you want to say?
it. I'm good.
Um. So before we end the show, I would like to ask you: do you have any tips on how someone having certain ailments in their body, what can they eat? For instance,
Fruit,
I know fruit
fruit.
and
Let me tell you, man, because a lot of people don't even realize this, man, on so many levels. Like, fruit has all the minerals that your body would need. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yes, and meat actually stresses the body. A lot of people don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? That
and
that
why
that
does it stress
increases,
the body?
because it
Why?
increases it increases stress hormones. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Yeah, it increases stress hormones. Like, you have over 50 hormones produced in the body, right? And they're all produced by the endocrine system. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, and the pituitary gland is a part of the immune system. I mean, immune system, I'm saying immune system. The endocrine system, right? And there's 6 major hormones: prolactin, um, adrenocortic. I always get this one mixed up. Adrenocorticotropic. This is a tongue twister. That's another hormone. Luteinizing hormone. That's another one. The follicle stimulating hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. These are the six hormones that's secreted through the pituitary gland. So each one of them have their own effect that it has on the body or whatever. But overall, these hormones affect your mood. You know what I mean? They affect the metabolism, the reproductive system, so on and so forth. So we don't realize it, but when we're eating these certain foods, like we eating meat, dairy, of course, because this is what triggers most of the stress hormones: meat, dairy, soy, um, fried foods, things of that nature or whatever. And this is what I was getting into as far as the addiction is concerned, because when you have certain hormones that are like even neurotransmitters like cortisol, you have dopamine, all of these interact as hormones and neurotransmitters. So this is where it gets deep rooted into mental health. A lot of people don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a direct link to this stuff, So this is why I say, like, a lot of times, if you want to follow me, my name is Alkaline, or I'm Alkaline. My name is Alpha Almighty on Facebook. That's Alpha Almighty. Just check it out or whatever. Whenever you get a
Okay.
chance, check me out. Because I go into this
You
stuff
said on
more.
Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook, Alpha Almighty. You know,
Is there a
but
space in between?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I go ahead.
yeah, so those stress hormones, you know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Stress hormones like cortisol, you know, that's what actually is like pretty much what causes anxiety and depression. You know, and these are things like people don't know how to identify with, but they go through it every day. You understand what I'm saying? Like I talk to so many people, you know, and I have these consultations with so many people, and I'm very discreet. I don't disclose anybody's information. You know, I have people contacting me with all kinds of problems. You know what I'm saying? STDs, you know, major diseases. And I don't really like getting too in depth with stuff like that because I know that they're watching and they're controlling the algorithms of things. So I don't get too deep onto it. I like to speak to people privately. But there are multiple people, you know what I'm saying, that I help reverse multiple diseases, reverse multiple skin conditions, mental health issues. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just like this food things. People don't even understand how deep it is. You know, just from eating. If you could just, this is how you put yourself to the test, man. You tell yourself that you're gonna eat nothing but mangoes for the whole day. And if you cannot follow through with that task, that goes to show you how deep you're in. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're in too deep because that's exposing the addictions that you have. People, look, that meat shit is, you're not, first of all, you're not attracted to the meat. This is the reason why you put all of the herbs and the spices and all that stuff on there, because you're trying to hide the actual stench of the meat. You're not attracted to that. When you smell that stuff coming from the kitchen, those are the herbs. That's that oregano. That's that basil. That's the, you know what I'm saying? That's all of those different herbs that you put in on the, and listen, these are powerhouse. These are herbs that you need to keep in your home. Oregano,
Because
thyme.
it's also used for spiritual reasons too. Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? This is why we so useful, because that's what we use most in most of our dishes and things of that nature. So
yes.
you know, we don't really get it. Like, we gotta really stop. We gotta stop and understand, like, because we talk about our ancestors ate meat, but they didn't eat it the way that we eat it now. You understand what I'm saying? Eating 3 times a day with all a consistent of meat. They didn't even, that was a luxury. Meat was a luxury for them. You understand what I'm saying? And then, you know, I joked about this the other day on my page, but they kept a bottle of prune juice on their refrigerator door. They knew the importance of cleansing their colon. We don't. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you got to understand, like, if you don't understand what was, you'll never understand what is. And we just so rebellious against the elders.
I want to add to that when you get finished.
Yeah, we so rebellious against the elders. We can't see that. Like, we can't see that there's so much information that we're bypassing, and that, you know, there's so many things that we overlook, and we say, oh man, that's that old stuff. No, it's not. It's actually nothing new under the sun. So if we understood what was, we'll understand what is. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I just tell people that all the time, man. Just, you know, a lot of these illnesses are linked to mineral deficiencies, and they're linked to hormonal imbalances. So if you have some time, just, you know, start looking up hormonal imbalances and what causes them, you know, what foods causes them and what foods are associated with it, and you'll start getting your answer. And there's one more thing that I want to tell people too, man. Start reading the labels on your food. And then if you just so happen to look at your cleaning products, you look at your cosmetics, you look at your stuff for your car, like greasers, you will start seeing the same thing that's in your toothpaste, in your dish detergent, and your laundry detergent, and in the greaser for aircraft engines. It's all in the same. They're all the same. They have a product called SLS, sodium lauryl
Mm,
sulfate. Sodium lauryl sulfate.
mm.
That shit is in your toothpaste. Everybody talking about this fluoride shit,
And
but
it's
you
in
ain't.
oh, and it's in soap too.
It's in
And
your
you know I
soap.
know that when I was making my
Come
soap.
on, cuz.
Cause
Come
I
on,
was like,
cuz.
we not putting that in there.
Come on,
Right.
cuz. You understand? And
When
that's the
in that
foaming agent.
that
That's the foaming
fluoride,
agent.
right? And and that and that fluoride, what it does, it messes with your pineal gland.
Boom,
You feel me?
boom.
And that
And
gland
so does the
right
SLS.
there, right? And you know what that gland do, right? That's your third eye. That's your
That's a fact.
spirit eye. That's how you see.
That's a
That's how you
fact.
connected to the spirit world. So
That's
what
a
they
fact.
do is they dumb you down with the food and with that fluoride, and and make these kids talking about their ADHD. No, you're giving them from.
Fact.
Stop giving them kids them fluoride toothpaste, so they can
That's
be
a fact.
tapped in. They come into the world tapped in. Feel me? Like
That's a
yeah,
fact.
I wanted to add to what you were saying about the meat. You know, two things you said that you touched on that I agree with. As far as our ancestors, like how they ate when they ate the meat. It was first of all it was different. First of all, they was raising the meat that they was eating. Number one, they
Come
knew
on.
what was going into it. It was free ranged. It was in the sun. They was love. They was
Come on.
giving love. Some of them
Come
was
on.
pets, so they was happy. These animals didn't was under anxiety. But
Come on.
nowadays with the meat is they got them caged up. They injecting them to make them more plump. And the reason why they make them more plump is because they're not being fed right. They're not being fed the nutrients they're supposed to be getting fed from the earth. They're not getting that vitamin. They're not getting that love. So
Man.
now they under stress. They under anxiety.
That's
They
right.
worrying. They animals too. You feel me? I
Right.
mean, they
That's
spirits
right.
too. They have
That's fact.
emotions too. So they all of that chaos, and then also being injected with whatever they injected it into, so they could look more
That's a fact.
appealing to the buyer.
And
And then
y'all
we
muscles have
ingesting
memories.
that,
Yes.
not knowing why. Exactly, and not knowing why when when we eat and we don't feel full, or when we
Mm.
eat and why that anxiety, we stressed out, and and why we feeling like this because you just ate that flesh. You
Mm-hmm.
just ate that flesh
Mm-hmm.
that had all those attributes in it.
All them
You feel
hormones.
me? So it's just like so I get it. Like I started this journey. So we have a caller coming. We have Donna coming in. I started this journey, some years back, and I say about 2012, and everybody, thought that weird, but I knew what it was because I knew that the meat and everything wasn't coinciding with my body. But we have wait, hold on, call back now. I just wanted to finish saying what I was back, Donna. But yeah, that even with the fruit, depending on what you're getting and where you're getting it from, what they spray it with. You feel me? So when you get
Yeah.
your apples, and this, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? When you get your
Yes.
apples, they putting wax on it,
Oh
floor
yeah.
wax on them apples,
Oh
so
yeah.
that they can make it tiny and make it. So then we ingesting
How
it,
about
but the apple, organic, natural apples, they don't look so shiny.
that's a fact.
You
That's a
feel me? So
fact.
we
And they
ingesting all
also
that, not knowing why we getting cancer.
that's a fact. And also they
Go
hold
ahead,
those
cuz.
apples, right? The apples from the apples that are in season, right? The apples being seasoned because you have some apples that being seasoned during the wintertime as well. But the ones that they selling you be the ones that come from last year, but they be inside of the warehouse being gas treated with carbon monoxide because that's what keeps the red color, keep the make them looking fresh and everything of
Ah,
that nature. So a lot of people don't be understanding. They don't know what
ah,
they eat, and you gotta really like really research. Like people are into this stuff, and I always tell them all the time, like, yo, listen, it's steps to this because when I started, I stopped, I did one by one. I wasn't really fucking with the pork like that. Been like, because you know what I'm saying, we come from that. But the red meat,
Right.
I've been stopped. The chicken, I went from chicken to fish to just going straight cold turkey. So, you know, but then I had to do the research on all that. You know what I'm saying? And I had to find out about the chicken. And I found out that the chicken was just as nasty as the pig. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I found out that the chicken, you know what I'm saying? Like 90% of the chicken that's produced in this country isn't even real chicken.
It's being cloned.
Since 2008, cuz. Since 2008.
Yes.
Like, you gotta understand what's happening out here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
And
the
it's
fish.
bigger purpose. It's all for their purpose. It's all to keep us dumbed down so they so that we don't understand and see what they are doing right before our
Facts.
eyes. Why
Facts.
when the minute that spicy crispy chicken came out at that I can't remember the restaurant, but everybody was going crazy because they ran out. I was like, yo,
Oh,
y'all
you
don't see
talking
what's
about
happening yet.
Popeyes, man. Popeyes. They had crack
Yeah.
that shit.
Right. And I'm like, wait a minute. I said, wait. This sound like crackheads to me. You mean tell me
Facts.
everybody fighting? You mean tell me everybody going crazy over this damn spicy crispy chicken? Something
Yeah.
ain't right.
And you know, that's crazy
Something is
because you
not
brought
right.
up Queen of Fool. Queen of Fool was basically letting us know that as many times we eat, and that's what we need to have bowel movements, right? But you brought up the Popeyes, right?
We have cola
And
cut.
the Popeyes
We
itself
have a
had,
cola
you
cut.
know, that sandwich had over damn near 70 ingredients. So 90%
Pin
of
that,
that
pin
sandwich
that,
is still,
pin that,
huh?
cuz pin that, pin that, pin
Yeah.
that. You got a caller. You got a caller. You
All
got a
right.
caller. Hello, caller. How are you?
How you doing? My name is Sinet, aka they call me Scooby. I just want to say that I'm really proud of Alkaline Alpha and his efforts. I've seen him come a long way. That was one of my best friends growing up.
Oh,
He even changed my life a lot of times. He showed me the way a lot of times, and I'm still learning. But just seeing him tonight, it's just really firing me up to really get on that path and start eating healthy and stick to it. But what I'm most proud of him about is his resilience on learning, on seeking and learning the knowledge that he was obtaining throughout these years. I think the last time I saw him in person was like 2020, before the pandemic hit, 2019 or something like that. And he was just on it. He was just talking to me face to face, letting me know what it is. And seeing him now, I'm just so proud of him. And I really love that dude, man. I really love that dude.
Stove, I
That's
love
dope.
you,
And
bro.
thank you for that. And yes, definitely get on the path. Just remember that nobody's perfect. So don't be and to everyone else that's listening out there. You don't have to beat yourself about being perfect if you can't do it the way Alkaline Alpha does. It's progress. And I also like to add.
It's all about seeking the knowledge.
Exactly. And also like to add is that but when you eat low vibrational food, low vibrational energies can be able to latch onto you. I had to learn that too.
Facts. Yep.
It's all in the food. So it's like
Yes.
so instance, like when you need to meditate or your thoughts is clear, like you gotta like clean your colon out. You feel me? And
Facts.
then and when you and,
Okay.
and then when you break that fast after you finish fasting and clean your colon out, you got to put something green in your body, something chlorophyll.
A
Facts.
lot of green, right?
Yes,
Facts.
because of the oxygen. You
Okay.
feel me? And then that helps
Boom.
you tap higher
Woo.
with your consciousness to the spirit world and to the most high. That's why
Yeah.
I said they dumbing us down with the
Yeah,
food
cuz.
because
Yeah, cuz.
it's serious. It's deep like that. You feel me? Just like I had lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
But yes, you got it when you feel like you all over the place,
Saying the
clean your
oxygen.
colon.
Mm-hmm.
Clean your colon. And then when you break that and fast and like drink water. Drink a lot of water. And when you drink water, you drink alkaline water. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? Drink alkaline water
I don't
because
know.
your body, our body is
Right.
energy, first of all. So we got to put that energy back in our body. And then when you break it with something
Right.
green, chlorophyll, oxygen, energy, because so we get the chlorophyll from the sun and then it hits, the greens and the trees and things of that nature. And we need, and you cannot have, you cannot live without the breath. You feel me? I hope that
Right.
resonates. I said a
Right.
lot. I
Right.
said a lot.
Yeah.
I got you. Nah, that was
That's
good.
it,
That was
man.
good. I'm proud of you too, and I'm thankful that you started this podcast. You probably don't remember me or recognize me much, but I'm from 335. I'm Deborah's son from 15.
Okay.
You remember me more if you see me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
one of
Yeah, you
Deborah's
remember him,
sons.
cuz if
Well,
you saw
thank
him, yeah,
you.
you know who
So,
Scoob is.
I'm not from 315, 335. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
335.
Okay. Thank you for the love. I appreciate that. Thank you. Like, share,
I got you. I
subscribe,
got you.
tell
I'm gonna
everybody.
start a fast. I'm gonna start a water fast for a few days.
Yeah, let me tell you, the water fast, because I
Woo.
did a water fast and I love water fasting, even if it's just for one day.
Yeah.
You lose so much of that water weight. By the time the end of the day, your pee coming out so heavy because it's just getting all the negative toxins out of your body. It does such amazing things for you, such amazing things. So yeah, but thank you for calling in. Make sure you share, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Want to have
I
all
got
kind
you.
of
I'm gonna
guests.
finish watching the live. Yeah, I
Yeah.
finished.
All right. Thank you so kindly. Have a good one.
All right.
All right,
Scoob,
thanks
get
for
my
having me.
number,
All right.
man. Get
Peace.
my number off the screen, man. My number be on the screen, man. Hit me.
All right. So we had Jay Blook said does it have to be mangoes to eat all day, or will any fruit do?
Any fruit, brother. Any fruit. You know what I mean? I was gonna get to that. Y'all was talking. I ain't want to break that. That frequency y'all had going, man. It was beautiful and it was powerful for me as well, man. Because I remember school coming to me and speaking to me about certain things. And school, if you're still listening, man, hit me up, man. My number's on the screen. But nah, you can eat whatever. You know what I mean? You can eat whatever fruit that you like the most. You know what I'm saying? My most favorite fruits are mangoes, watermelon, cherries. Those are my favorite fruits right there. You know what I mean? And the mangoes are good for magnesium. You know what I'm saying? The watermelon is good for magnesium as well, iron, all kind of shit. So you getting everything. You getting all the minerals inside of these fruits, and fruits will naturally cleanse your colon. So if you continuously eating the fruit, don't mix the fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna eat a mango, have that mango and then give it at least 25 to 30 minutes afterwards before you have an apple or some watermelon. Because each fruit has its designated time to break down in your body, and you don't want to cause fermentation because that can also, you know what I'm saying, stress the body as well, and that can induce leaky gut and all kinds of digestive issues. You could become constipated. You could, that can
Hello.
cause reflux.
I think we have Donna on the line, cuz.
Oh shit.
I'm on.
Yes. You had dialed in earlier, right?
Yo,
No,
cuz,
you know
what
what?
up,
I had so
cuz?
many questions in the comments. I'm mad because I lost my train of thought now. I'm like, okay, how do I comment? How can I ask a question?
Well, you here, you live now. Ask the question.
Now, since I am here, I don't know. I really did lose my train of thought. I'm so sorry. I was talking all the time. But I just want to say to the both of you how I'm so proud of both of you. And I'm tuning in, I'm listening in. But Chubby, while I have you here, because someone was talking to me about becoming a vegan and trying to change the way they eat, and I have referred them to you. I don't know if they probably got to you or not. But what I wanted to ask someone who is looking to become vegan and to change the way they eat, how would someone begin? And I'm talking about, like you said, this is deep rooted. So, like even for me. So for me to stop doing something cold is such of a big change that it will do.
Right.
So how do you recommend for someone to do that?
Okay, so I would say like finding alternatives to like your favorite foods.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh shit. Can you hear me, cuz?
Can you hear cuz?
I can hear you, but I don't know if y'all heard me.
Yeah, we heard you. He answering you now.
Yeah, I heard you.
Oh, I can
Yeah,
hear
so
him. I'm
oh
sorry.
shit, she can't hear me. She can hear me?
She can hear you.
Nah? Oh, all right. So yeah, I'm
She can
saying,
hear you.
all right, good. So finding alternatives to the foods that you like most, you know what I mean? I know a lot of people struggle with mushrooms, but that's just our replacement. But I've gotten so deep into this now where you don't even need to deal with mushrooms. You know what I mean? You just have to broaden your horizons and be a little bit more flexible with other fruits. You know what I mean? Because you have certain stuff that like jackfruit. Jackfruit kind of like mimics the consistency of chicken in a way. And you compare that with a chickpea, and you mix that all together, and that could be your ground beef replacement. You know what I'm saying? Now, it may not work as a crumble. Now, I have something that I use in most of my cookbooks, right? And I would recommend a person to just deal with my cookbooks because I deal with cookbooks that help people in the transitional phase. So the transitional phase is actually you looking for that texture from the meat. So, I would recommend them to actually get one of my books. But yeah, for the most part, just finding the alternatives to the foods that you love the most. So the closest thing to chicken would be jackfruit, and that can be the mixture that I just put together. That could be for your ground beef replacement. You can make your meatloaf out of that. You can make burgers. You know what I mean. You could even make chicken strips with just the jackfruit itself, and you take a little bit of what do you call it? I like to use the kamut cereal, and I crumble it up a little bit and turn that into breadcrumbs. And I'm giving y'all some secrets and shit that I don't really be telling people, but yeah, I throw that inside of the jackfruit, and that'll help hold it. You know what I mean, in place, because the jackfruit is so unless you dehydrate it, but you can mold that and do a wet and a dry batter, and that could be your chicken replacement. You can make chicken nuggets out of that as well. So yeah, it's just finding alternatives to your favorite foods. You know what I mean? If you're a cheesehead, you can make cheese. Just using the you can use a burro banana, unripened burro banana. So that's a green burro banana, and what do you call it? A butternut squash. You put those two together with a little bit of nutritional yeast and some garlic powder and a little onion powder and some sea salt, and that'll be your cheese replacement. You know what I mean? And you just blend that all up, and you'll be surprised how that shit tastes like cheese. Like, my mother is a cheese head. Donna, my mom's is a cheese head. And I make cheese, and my mom can't even tell the difference. She loves my cheese. So at the end of the day, like, it's just all about what your effort is. And you got to be persistent and really want it. You know what I mean? I fell off the wagon so many times. You know what I mean? I'm not special. You know what I mean? I'm just like y'all. I'm not no different. It's just that I was really adamant about changing, and that's what actually helped me follow through with it. You know what I mean? And you got my number, cuz you can hit me anytime you got a question, or if I didn't really get into in depth with you on the podcast, you got my number. Hit me up, and we could talk about it.
Okay. Did you get that, cuz?
Yeah, this is me. So I don't know why I couldn't hear Chubb through the phone, so I kind of just hung up to hear him through the podcast, through the live itself. But I did want to say, Chubb, people are talking about you. I know in the beginning you had a hard time, especially with family. I watched you battle that, especially with you becoming vegan. I've always admired your journey in doing this.
You gave me a hard time too.
I always can appreciate that in anyone. But I know you did have a hard time. But now, your family is talking about you. They like, oh, Chubby made this, or they're talking about this that you're making and how they're going back for second helpings and third helpings, and it's all gone, and they didn't more than one tray of certain items. So I definitely wanted to, give you that to let you know that, it does take for people. Sometimes people are not ready to understand certain things, but when they are, they do, and that support is there, especially from me. And even though y'all know I'm picky with food, period. Yeah. So it takes a lot for me to even try some foods and things like that. But yes, I also just want to let you know that.
Thank you, cuz. I appreciate you. That's a fact. I appreciate you for even saying that. You know what I mean? And I knew it was going to take some time. So, and I was real serious about my transition. So it was no way that I was going to stop. And I felt like I had a duty, just to show people that it's possible. And there were so many people that came from my walk of life that I knew that I could inspire if I stuck with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just felt like I had a higher calling. And now that I think about it, it's just like I surprised myself, because it's just like, shit, I'm chubby. I'm greedy. I remember certain times I would come by for Thanksgiving and be like, yo, Chub, you sure you don't want no ham? I'm like, yeah. No, I'm not sure, but I'm not gonna eat that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So but now I just felt like, I built more of tolerance for a lot of that stuff. So I could be around any of that. Like, this is like my first year, first 2 years. But now, man, I can't even be around that shit. I can't like, if you cooking that stuff in the house, I would have to come back when it's already cooked, because I could smell the flesh burning and it makes my stomach turn, because the way that I see it now is different. Before, when it was on my plate, when I was eating it, you used to eat that. Yeah, I used to eat it before because I was desensitized. But then when I started realizing what was going on, it's like the permissibility of cannibalism, because these animals have the same systems as we do. They have an endocrine system. They have a, circulatory system. They have a central nervous system. You know what I mean? All of these things. So like when we're eating a leg, I'm looking down at my leg. When I'm eating the wing, I'm looking in the back of my, you know what I'm saying? Like, so nah, the breast is, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, nah, I can't do that shit. It just fuck with me. Like, so it's I'm on a different level now. A lot of people don't realize it, but when you break away from that shit, you really gonna start seeing things for what it really is. And that's what really helped. You know what I mean? Will help me. But to answer Scooby question, man, blackstrap molasses is okay in small increments. You know what I mean? Because that shit comes from concentrate, you know what I mean? So what they do is they cook it to a point where there's no more nutrients inside of it. Now if it's cold pressed coming directly from the actual tree, then absolutely it's good. But your sugar alternatives would be date syrup and birch xylitol. You don't want the corn xylitol. You want birch xylitol, and that's your replacement for sugar. I use that in almost everything, and that comes from hardwood trees. They just process it and make the sugar out of it, and that has a low glycemic index of a single digit, which is 7. Now you going into sugar, that's 68. When you go into agave syrup, it comes. I think it comes in about a 60 or something like that, 50 something. But these are all high glycemic indexes, So when you got a date sugar, I think date sugar and date syrup come in at maybe about 30 something. But I know for a fact that the xylitol itself comes in at a 7 for the glycemic index. So those are the ones that I use for sugar replacements, and anybody's looking for alternatives, that's your best bet.
All right. Yes. So we getting ready to get up out of here. We've been 45 minutes over. It was a good, once the knowledge get going, it just gets going,
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stop it. And that's
we gotta
great
go. We gotta do
about
this again, because I'm ready to get deep. I'm ready to go deep on it.
We're going to. Listen,
Yeah,
we can
let's
talk
do
about this after and set up another day.
Yeah.
It's like we just get started.
For real.
But
I ain't
you
gonna lie, I
know,
was a little nervous, but now I'm just like, nah, I'm ready. Like I'm ready to unleash because there's so much people need to know. And like if we gonna be going over, let's go over talking some shit. Like, so let's do it.
right,
For real.
right,
For real. And I'm
right.
hyped
But
now.
you know,
I love you, cuz I love you, I love you, I love
bore
you.
everybody. I love you more. I
For
love you
real,
more.
man.
And you know what is I feel like what I went through with my mental health, because you remember me, I'm still strong, but I just had a certain air about me when I walked. You feel me?
Facts. Facts.
And I just feel like the Most High sat me down and made me go through something so He could see what my destiny was, so that I can create
Mm-hmm.
so I could feel what everybody else was feeling and have empathy for what everybody else was going through, so I could be able to resonate with them and be able to create a platform so that everybody can see that there's is different walks of life that dealt with mental health on all different kind of levels. You don't have to be shooting up, taking, medication to be doped up to calm your mental health. I remember I used to work at the Mercantile Exchange, and those stockbrokers was ready to kill themselves because they just lost their child's college fund. They was going through
Yeah.
their own. They had to sniff coke and everything just to calm themselves down. You feel me? So it's just mental health is so deep. It's a topic that just needs to just be heard. And every sometime you could be standing next to someone and you don't even know that they just need a hug or they just need some money. So yo, I like that. You look nice, or
Yeah.
how you doing today, or it's just something. And we don't. And what I also learned is that we all walk with guard about us because we've been hurt, and we put that shield up when we all
Right.
actual loving beings,
That's a
because of the
fact.
society that we came up in, and because of our DNA, we have been brought up so hard. Like, especially where we from, we gotta walk these streets because you're gonna get robbed. You
Fact.
feel me? Say, let me keep
Fact.
my jewelry in, keep my money in
Facts.
me. Why he looking at
Yo.
me like that? Or he looking at me a little
Yo,
too
that's
hard. What the
crazy.
fuck they looking at? Stuff
Yo.
like.
And I'm in
So
the
that
South
plays a
too,
part in
cuz
your mental health as well.
they don't respect our shit, man. I'm down here in the South. They just don't understand that. They think that New York people got a chip on their shoulder. They don't realize it's the demographics, you know what I'm saying, and the things that we had to endure, you know what I mean, and dealing with, that life that's just so demanding, it's so upbeat, you know what I mean. The pace is just so fast, and you gotta be like it's eat or get eaten. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so that's what it is. It's like. But yeah, down here taught me a lot of patience, man. But yeah, I just wanted to say that when you said that, it just kind of hit me. But hold on. Before we get
Yeah,
out of here,
yeah.
I want everybody to know that I have an event coming up August 20th. It's going to be on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. August 20th. The location, the exact
Okay.
location
So
comes
why
in
you gotta
after you.
tell me these things? Hold on.
Yeah, yo, and
Let me
it's so
put that up
crazy. It
there
just
for
hit me.
you.
It just hit
You
me.
gotta tell
It
me.
just hit me. My bad, cuz. But
So
yo, I got
so while I pull this up, Jay Blook said, I was just about to ask about a part two, and Healthy Living said, I need that energy, bro.
got you.
So let
Got
me
you.
put up the information for you. You said you was nervous
Yeah.
in the beginning, but now you know how it goes. So next time we gonna have it together. I want you to
We
have
going.
pictures of your food,
I got
your
you.
plates, your BD. You feel me? Like you got some.
Yeah, I got
Ooh.
some fire,
All right.
man.
So
I
what's
got
the
some fire.
location?
All right, so the location is going to be
What's the
disclosed
location?
after they buy the tickets, but it's in Manhattan. It's going to be in Manhattan on the Lower East Side. So they would know the around that. That's the location really.
What
But
day?
the actual location to come in after they purchase the tickets. But the event takes place August 20th.
Where can they purchase?
They can purchase the tickets on my site, eatlikeugaf.com. That's EATLIKEUGAF.com. And it's going to come up Bushworm
Okay. You
Holistic
know what? I'll put it
Market.
right here.
Yeah. So the tickets are on sale. and it's 150, but the tickets admit 2 people. So it's just like, the
August
spot that I'm
20th.
gonna have it at, huh? What you said?
You said August 20th.
August 20th. Yeah,
August
August
20th, the
20th.
day your event.
Yeah, yeah. So it's 2 separate
What's the
times.
name
It's
of your
because
event?
Alkaline Wine and Dine. It's Alkaline Alpha's Wine and Dine. So we're gonna be serving wine up in the spot. It's a herbal wine though. It's not like real wine. It's a herbal wine. You know what I'm saying? I actually have a herbal wine coming out, but it's just not finalized yet. So just be on the lookout for that as well. But I'm gonna be featuring someone else's wine at this event, unfortunately, because mine isn't done yet, hasn't been finalized yet. So yeah, so that is Alkaline Alpha's Wine and Dine. It's on August 20th, 2022. There's 2 different times, that people can purchase if they want a reservation from 5 to 6:30, or they need a later reservation, and that'll be from 6:30 to 8. Okay. So, that gives each reservation an hour and a half, to eat, sip, and vibe with one another. You know what I'm saying? And just like more so like networking. And also we're having like, there's going to be like, I think I'm going to have some games there, so that we can enjoy ourselves, have some good time. It's going to be some good music there. And also we're going to be taking photos. I'm going to have like videographers there. So, hopefully you don't feel uncomfortable, because I'm actually showcasing this thing here for investors, so I can possibly open up a spot either in NYC or Atlanta, maybe New Orleans, who knows? But you know what I mean? Let's just keep our fingers crossed. And the damn. Oh yeah, we're having a best dress. So the best dress gets a $300 reward, but we're gonna be taking pictures of everyone that comes in. So this way, and then afterwards, I'm not gonna be a judge. I don't want nobody to think I'm being biased, because I may have some family in the building. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I'm just gonna put all the pictures up on Facebook and let people like each picture, and then whoever get the most likes after a week, they get the $300. All right, that's how that's going to work. So yeah,
Okay.
that's basically what it
All right.
is.
Let me see
So
if it's
you're going to have an
working.
appetizer, an entree, a dessert, and you get 4 drinks per table. So whoever, you know what I'm saying, that you bring in, you get two glasses of wine a piece. You know what I'm saying? If you came by yourself and you spent the 150, then you're gonna get lit with 4 glasses of wine. All right. So at the end of the day, that's basically what it is, though.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
alcohol.
I'm gonna be there. So
That's
so
what's up.
every so everybody can catch it. You see it down at the bottom, www.eatlikeyougivaafuck. That's EUGAF.com. Hit him up at 347-260-1551. And his event, Alkaline Alpha's Wine and Dine, gonna be on Lower East Side on August 20th. I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna be there. I'm gonna support. Yeah. So is there anything that you would, before you leave, is there anything that you would like to say to anyone? Something motivational, or anything like that?
I just want to say, man, whatever it is that you're doing, just make sure that you ain't hurting nobody. I came from a very colorful past, and there's some things that I can't take back, man. But that doesn't have to define you. And I know that there's a lot of people who are just like me, came from the same struggle, and this is the reason why I do it. I do it for y'all. I share my story for y'all, so y'all know that it's possible. You know what I mean? For you to do something positive, become an alchemist, and take that negative energy and create a positive out of it. So yeah, just stay diligent.
Ashe.
You know, be strong. You know what I mean, and don't allow nobody to bring you back to the old you, to the old person that you used to be. You know what I mean? Because it's very important. That you learn how to shed those energies, because Yeah, you know, a lot of times, a lot of people ask me how to detox, right? But I tell them this: I say, you know, your inner environment needs to be detoxed, but you also need to detox your your
Ha!
outside. So your internal is great, but the external can influence the internal. So you can't have one without the other. So this is why I had to isolate myself from everyone. You know what I'm saying? And work on myself. So this way, when I came back, I was good. You know what I mean? Now, no outside force can penetrate what's in here. But I had to cleanse
Yes.
that out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I had to cleanse that.
Yes.
So that's the whole
Talk that
situation
talk.
right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I just say that, you know, for the people, man. And September 17th, I have a veggie tasting going on. I don't really have a location for that right now. I'm trying to figure out where we're gonna do that. But yeah, if they want to know more information about that, follow me on my Facebook page. That's Alkaline Almighty. All right, and just check me out. No, I mean Alpha Almighty. I keep saying Alkaline.
All
So it's
right,
Alpha
right.
Almighty. Alpha Almighty. That's ALFA Almighty. So yeah, so that's it. I'm also a children's book. I write children's books too. You know what I mean? Listen, I got my hands in all kinds of bags. I'm about to start designing sneakers and clothes, and I'm on it. Like,
It
you
doesn't
know,
stop. It
I
just
got
it
some
just
earthy,
keeps
I got some
going.
earthy shoes that I've been looking at right now, and I'm trying to recreate. It's about to be crazy. It's about to be crazy because
And it
yeah,
doesn't stop, and that's why we gotta have a part two. So we're gonna have a part two
yeah,
soon, so we could go more into, like, we're gonna show you foods, and we're gonna talk more about your event, and and things of that nature. So now you know what it's like. So now you don't have to be nervous no more. So we could just go right into it, because it's like as
that's
soon as it started to get real good, we gotta go. Like,
that's
we've been
right.
on
That's
for
what
an
I'm saying,
hour and
man.
58 minutes.
Yeah, yo, listen, man. Again, let's wrap this up. But yo, cuz, man, I just want to say before we go, I love you. I'm
I love you
inspired by
more.
you. You actually inspired me. You know what I'm saying? To go ahead
Thank
and do
you.
what I needed to do as far as starting my business. You were just so much of a beacon of light that I saw it, and I was just like, yo, damn, because I don't remember, like, I don't know if you remember that, you know what I mean? I know how strong you are because you slammed me on my little cousin bed and we broke the bed. We got kicked out of born crib. I don't know if you remember that, but you know what I'm saying? That's listen, I listen, we here, you know what I
I
mean?
don't remember that. But you and Hazel always say, Each is the only girl that ever beat me up. And I'm like, yo, why you keep bringing
Yeah,
that up?
yeah, as a fact, you beat me up, cuz you slammed me hard too, broke the bed,
Oh, I'm sorry. That was the
boy
old me
kicked us
to it.
out.
I'm
You know what I'm
so
saying? It's like, yo, y'all gotta go. But yeah, man.
oh, I'm sorry, cuz. Do you
Let's
forgive
do it.
me?
Let's
We was
do it, cuz.
kids.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
let's do it. And yeah, let's keep this thing going. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk. I'll probably hit you up tomorrow, because doing a podcast take a lot out of me,
yeah.
So it's a lot of preparation going into it. So we're gonna
That's
talk
a fact.
tomorrow, and
Okay.
we're gonna, and you know what, and if it's okay with you, I could podcast also at your event. We could just go live there.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm with it. I'm
You
with it.
feel me?
Listen, I'm gonna
So
have some folks in the house videographing anyway, so that works.
hey, we
That
gonna get
works.
it. We gonna get it on. We gonna get it
Let's
on. All
make it
right, we
happen.
gonna do it. Let's make it happen. So I want to say I love you. Thank you for blessing my podcast with your energy. Your energy is always dope. Your journey is just so inspiring. Everybody needs to see that, people like us can make
Yeah.
it. You feel me?
Thank you. Thank
And
you,
we are
cuz.
the great. We are the greatest.
Yeah.
Because we've been through so much. And when you come from the gutter, ain't nowhere else to go but up. You feel me? And we are so blessed. And this is for everyone if you're still listening, if no matter where you come from, if you come from the projects, you come from the slums, you come from the hood, let me tell you something. Not to say that I'm glorifying anything, but you come from the best, because you could walk anywhere in the world and know how to survive.
I'm living
Because
proof.
there is a unspoken language. And when you in the gutter, you have no choice but to learn that unspoken. You don't even know that you speak in that language. You feel me? People talk with their
Facts.
eyes. You know, when you walk in a room, it's the energy is not right. You know when it's good vibes, you
Yeah.
know when it's not good vibes. You know, we could sit at the boardroom with anybody and throw on our interview voice, or we could learn how to get our warrior stance on and protect our families. You feel me? And you are a prime example of that. And that's why I said, I had to have you on. There was no way in the world that I was going to have a podcast and glorify everybody else and talk about everybody else's story and don't talk about, my family. You feel me? Because it starts with us. We got to support each other. So I
That's a
love you. Keep doing what you're doing. You coming up here next week, right? Because
yeah.
happy birthday to you. Hey, happy birthday to your cuz. Like, yo,
Yeah. Big
it's nothing but
4-0, baby.
happiness over here. The big foe. Oh, all right. So
Yeah,
I love you,
man. Big
cuz. I'm
4-0.
gonna let you go and we're gonna talk and we're gonna
All
keep
right.
this thing going. All right.
All right, cuz. Love you later.
Love you more. Peace. Yes. So yes. That was Alkaline Alpha. I'll call him Alkaline Alpha, Alpha Almighty, cuz conscious, we all wear many hats. And I just want to say thank you and a big shout out to his journey. Thank you to everyone that had tuned in, everyone that's still here. I had no idea we was gonna go over an hour, but that just lets me know how much this information, this podcast needs to be heard. Thank you, Healthy Living. He said this podcast, was going to go big. And I agree. We're going to put that into fruition from your mouth to God's ears. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to have some great guests next week. We're going to have Jules Eyes. He's an awesome individual. He's from Harlem, the Get of Money town. He's going to come and talk about his his mental health. He's a fashion designer. He's also in the music industry. um it's going to be a great podcast. After that, we're going to have Prince Empress Nuba. We're going to, she's from the Queen of Food camp. She's going to talk about how she used to sell drugs in the street, was a prostitute, was a stripper, and now she's a holy woman, and we also going to have Miss T from Harlem. She's actually featuring on Trap Queens right now on BET. She's going to be on also. She's going to talk about her story, how she had the gun to her, how she was pregnant and she was running her boyfriend's empire when he got locked up, and how they came in and tried to rob her and put the gun on her head, tied her up while she was pregnant. So and how she went through that. So yeah, we're gonna have it's gonna be big. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in. And one thing that I want to say, because I'm getting ready to get off of here, because it's been 2 hours and 4 minutes. No matter what you've been through, take it as a blessing. Because if you're still living and if you still have breath within your body, God is not done with you yet. And what I also learned is that when we go through things and when the Most High is trying to take us to the next frequency, the old frequency has to be broken. Always remember that. Turn the positive, turn the negative into a positive. That's how I got through. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. We're going to be here every Thursday at 8 p.m. I'm going to I'm going to turn it up. We're going to have, some music playing. I'm going, it's going to grow. Everything is going to grow. I'm going to take it to the streets. We're not just going to be sitting here in the living room on my couch. So thank you. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you love yourself, because you can't do anything or take care of anyone if you don't take care of you first. So be blessed. Peace.